From Legacy United, it is the Generation 1 Universe Optimus Prime in deluxe size. Yes, this is a small version of Optimus, but he bears an incredible resemblance to the original G1, and I think he's cool. You don't know how difficult it was to wait for this review to pop him out, because I just looked at him and I want to get him out. So I waited, and now I'm going to get him out on camera with you guys, with all my friends. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. If you've been watching for a long time, thanks for coming back. That is awesome. And we are going to go through this deluxe size Optimus Prime and might even do a few comparisons for size. Be right back. So it's the standard box. You can reach in and touch Optimus and rub his head, which makes it, difficult. If people want to pop off his head in a Walmart, they can do that. On the back, it shows his two versions, which again, looks very, very Optimus Prime. But we're going to break him out of this prison. I have my handy knife. And it is nice to get an Optimus Prime that isn't meant for really young children at a price point that is not going to break the bank. So opening it up from the bottom, sliding it out, and there he is on his cardboard prison. And there's a shitty piece of paper. I know some of you were waiting for that. Instructions, and he's got accessories on the back in appropriately Autobot paper. So in this case, I don't mind, because it should be Autobot paper. It's just jarring when it's a Decepticon and it's Autobot paper. It's like, what? Are the Autobots like selling weapons to the Decepticons? That does not seem in their best interest. All right, so in this, we actually have two guns. We have the original G1. It seems a little smaller scaled, but it's the fat version, and there's the thinner version. So there's a matrix, which is kind of monochromatic, and the axe. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the G1 Primes, there were variations in which some of them came with the fat gun, some of them came with a thin gun, and then some of the reissues, they actually did both of those. I may break out my New Year's edition 2002, which comes with both guns, to compare it to the Walmart new reissue when that comes out. I have a heck of a versus review there. But there he is. I'm going to put him on the turntable of doom and zoom in. So far, I am getting the impression he's a little bit smaller than the original G1 Prime. That's okay. Depending on the Decepticon he's fighting, you should use different sizes. Otherwise, ludicrous. All right, plastic shit off the table. Let's get into him. So there he is. Looks like a G1 Prime, but he feels very plastic because he's plastic. And before I get into all the posability and stuff, let's take a look. He does look, again, very much like the G1. No stickers, so I'm sure there's a toy hack set coming if it's not already out, that you can put the stickers there and on his forearms and on his feet, but he is missing a little bit of that stuff. Now, interestingly, he's got yellow eyes like the original, and he's got like this headband. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe it's in the instructions. Before we go too far, here is a G1 Optimus Prime for size comparison. As you can see, he is substantially shorter. He stands about 5 inches tall, whereas the original G1 Prime is about 6 inches tall. The original has a good inch on him, and of course he's got some die cast and also some dust. Whoopsie, things get dusty. It's hard to dust these things. And since he's got two guns, you can outfit him with both the fat barrel. It's a little hard getting them into his hands. That's interesting. Wow, very tough actually. But he can carry two guns. And of course he does have the battle axe, which we'll take a look at in a bit. So I'm gonna put this Optimus aside. When I have a bunch, is it Optimi? Now, interestingly, his chest opens like the original apparently, or at least similar. You flip it down. So just comparing the flip down look, and you take the matrix and plop it into his chest. But unlike a lot of the later Optimus Primes with the matrix in his chest, instead of opening like in the movie, they decided to opt for opening like a G1, which is kind of a nice nod to the G1, who also has yellow eyes, but doesn't have the headband on the top. Now, I'm not seeing any reference to the headband, so I guess I don't know why they put it there, why they didn't have the top painted blue, but they didn't. And the axe goes very handily into his fist, and he can chop up some Decepticreeps. Very nice. Now his smokestacks are there. They're not shortened. They're not chrome either. And they do bend a little bit. Not as easily as on the Studio Series Optimus, who is quite a bit taller, but nonetheless, they move. All right, let's check out some posability here. So first of all, let's take a look. I see that he has some nice ankle swivels. quite generous one. So he can do a little straddle thing. I don't know why he would do that, but he could. Now I noticed that there are wheels next to his hips, but they seem to move up a bit, which is probably necessary for what I want to check next. And it seems that he has no problem doing a full Jean-Claude Van Damme as long as you move up those wheels. Whee! Now he can kick forward, but not very far because he's got a bumper here. Now the bumper does seem to move up, so if you move up the bumper, he can kick higher. So that's nice. He can kick back even slightly higher than that. If you want to do a side kick, you got to move the wheel, and then he can do a side kick. And then he can do a really high side kick and kick Jetfire in the face, depending on which one you have. No way he's reaching the Siege one. So pushing down the front bumper, it kind of snaps into place, but it seems to pop out pretty easily. Now, does he twist at the waist? I am not seeing that. He does have swivels for his legs. He does bend at the knee and can get it up there quite a bit, but wait, let's see here. Ooh, he does twist. It's just underneath the wheels, and here it's this little joint that kind of exposes his little crotch. Nothing to be ashamed of, man. You're a robot, you don't need a big crotch. So twisting, now the arms go all the way around, which is nice. They can go out to the side. You can twist them, bring them forward. You can bend at the elbow. You can swivel. Now, I did see a friend of mine, Patriot Prime Reviews, said this is kind of like a cheap version of the Missing Link. Kind of. I don't think it quite has the same exact posability, but you can put the shoulders back. That's kind of nice. Turn the head all the way around. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it's exactly, but they probably took some principles from that one. Because this one, you don't have any method of flipping forward his front bumper. The wheels are similar. His twisting at the waist, though, is much more hindered because you can't flip that up. Yeah, I see similarities, but it's not exact. If you want to consider it a poor man's Missing Link or a less expensive Missing Link, by all means, feel free to do so. So he's got a lot of nice posability without losing that G1 style. I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, and I can balance kind of like that. So I like him in robot mode. He's, like I said, a little smaller, but I have smaller primes. You should see my Headmaster Jr. version. All right, and of course we got the weapons, and you could potentially, I guess, doesn't really show it, but I wonder if you can probably put a gun in his back if you want. Can't really do anything to store the axe, but if you want to store a gun on his back, you can do that. So a little bonus. All right, let's get him into his cab mode. So there he is in his cab mode. Not a difficult transformation, but there are some differences between this and the G1, obviously. Like you don't unplug his fists. So he looks pretty good. Autobot symbol on the side. He's got his smokestacks in the rear. Now for weapon storage, you are supposed to take the battle axe and attach it here. And his two guns. Again, the one with a thinner tip seems to be a little thicker of a barrel. But that is weapon storage right there. But we're not done, because first of all, we need to do a roll test. And then we're gonna do a trailer test. I think you know what I mean. So rolling. Pretty good. It seems to shake a little bit, but overall, he rolls pretty decently. So that's pretty nice. Now, here is a G1 trailer. I'm curious, the G1 trailer will fit. He does look a little smaller, but then again, he might not be. And hey, Huffer pulled this thing. But yeah, there he is with the G1 trailer. So you can attach that without a problem. Even bigger is the Studio Series 86 trailer, which he can also pull. It just looks even bigger in comparison to him. If you perhaps want to try something a little more in scale, here's a Target trailer, and that he seems to pull without a problem. So he can fit all kind of trailers. That's pretty nice. In cab mode, he is about 4 inches long, about, I would say, 1.75 inches wide, and height-wise, just about 2 inches. So there he is, a small version of Optimus Prime. I don't think he's quite as small as the Transformers Headmaster Jr. one, but he is a little small. But he's fun, and I like him. So I'm gonna put links in the description so you can hopefully pick him up somewhere. I know all Optimuses end up, for the most part, becoming difficult to find, except some of like Cyberverse and Transformers 1 and except the studio. Anyway, but yeah, while you are mulling over this smaller version of Optimus Prime, you can check out this video over here, which is actually the cute CTO1 version of Optimus Prime, which is quite a bit taller. And if you're enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe. We will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.